That's to lead us off anyway.
Okay.
That's Soldier Boy.
Dun, 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 dun. Can I ask a question? Am I the only person who's gonna have one different, like their favorite game? Am I gonna be the only person who has a different one?
No,
I feel like I'm gonna be the
different.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
mine might be the same as Brandon's, but it will be different than what you're thinking.
That makes no sense.
We're all just like Cuphead. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, hold up.
Assassin's Creed. Tetris.
Tetris. Paperboy.
My favorite game this year was the Mario Brothers. Hold on, actually, I didn't even look at my notes. Shit. Oh yeah,
My least favorite game. The ones women be playing.
Ooh, Tony, we're live, so.
But like any woman is gonna be listening to this.
That's true.
Aaron wouldn't care. Melissa wouldn't care.
Aaron's watching ER, so.
Mm-hmm.
When is Anthem supposed to be coming out?
2018.
All this year.
Like, what the fuck is it not on here? Some bull. Lying to me. Website.
Hi, and welcome to episode 30 of the Same Person Radio podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Justin McFadden. Joining me in the year 2018 is Stephen Galvin.
Yeah, 2018.
Switched it up on you there, Brandon. You're also on the show, Brandon Coffrin.
Hello, thank you. Wait, what?
What? You threw him for a loop.
Yeah, you really threw me off. Plus, like, you were like, for some reason, you were glitching on my screen. So, like, all I heard was Steven. So I thought I just missed my name.
All right, so let's get to the show. There's no one else to invite because Tony ain't shit.
Damn.
I hate everybody.
It's funny if you just drop the call right there.
2018, New Year, same Tony. New Year, same Tony.
Only took us 17 days to make a podcast.
Well, longer than that, because didn't we not do one until from early January or early December?
I don't even know.
No, we did one. Didn't we do one after we came back?
Yeah, you know what we did. We did do one already.
Because we were like,
when the comeback, did the comeback?
It was the
Stone Cold. Or
did we do a podcast when we came back? Yeah, when we came back.
Well,
every episode is a comeback. That's basically.
Yeah, we've been gone for a few weeks.
Last
we're back this time for reals.
Yeah,
and then we'll probably skip another few weeks, and then we'll be back for reals. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have like a schedule. We just kind of like show up on whatever Wednesday we want.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. All right, 2018, gentlemen. How's your 2018's been so far?
Good, I guess.
Good.
Cold.
Well, that's because your wife ate dinner without you, so.
Oh, true.
Damn, got him. All right, so we're gonna do a few. We're gonna do over the next few podcasts. I'm not gonna say the next few weeks because who knows with our scheduling.
Good call.
Over the next few podcasts, we're gonna discuss some of our favorite stuff from 2017: video games, movies, comics, and music. I think are the 4 categories. Tony's trying to shut his TV off.
We can throw TV.
Throw a remote at it. What do you say, Justin?
We could just throw TV in with movies.
Yeah, sure. TV and movies. Why not? It's the film category. So today we're gonna talk about video games because why not? Video games. Yay.
we could do interactive. The best interactive things from 2017. The best visual things. The best audio things, and the best thing you read with your eyes.
You touched.
Yeah, the touching.
My penis.
Myself.
My favorite comic book was me. My wiener.
Good God. All right. Let's do some news before we get into our video games. Yeah, I like how it turned into a song. It was supposed to be a typewriter, and now it's a song. So news. So Nintendo Switch beats the Wii U for lifetime sales in Japan already.
A switcheroo.
Nintendo Switch.
Big surprise.
Right? Like
I would have been more surprised if it didn't. Yeah, Brandon just threw his headset off and ran away.
And I was like, "Fuck you guys! I like the Wii
You gotta
U."
take a shit. Damn, when you gotta take a shit, you gotta take a shit. God damn.
Right? Well, I mean, was the Wii
Days
U
on the
really
Rock.
even that popular at
No.
all?
No.
Like, so I guess it's
No.
not really that surprising.
Well,
that-
you gotta think in less than a year, it outsold the Wii U, which was out what, like 3 or 4 years, probably.
Yep.
That's been out for longer than that. I feel like.
Yeah, probably even longer than that. But that's what I'm saying. Like in less than a year, it had more sales than So
Right. Well, that's because the Switch is real nice. Real nice. In non-gaming news, I lied. It is game news. Game of Thrones officially not returning until 2019, but which is very sad.
oh,
It is
you.
very sad.
I'm happy because I get more time to actually catch up.
You have 6 seasons to catch up on.
I'm gonna watch 6 seasons to watch 6 episodes.
Yeah. I think there's
You
a
wait till a
bunch
month
of,
before
like,
it comes on.
there's a bunch of like TV shows being like postponed to like 2019
Mm-hmm.
for some reason. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I can watch stuff I haven't watched yet.
there's another HBO show, but I can't remember what it was. And then there's
Westworld.
Oh yeah, Westworld's 2019.
and then there's a Netflix show. I think maybe Stranger Things.
Yep, Stranger Things season 3 is not till 2019.
Yeah,
At least that's. I mean, it's not official, but pretty much.
Yeah.
But they even started filming that yet, so.
right.
Oh well, we got a lot of stuff in 2018 to watch.
While we're on TV for a second, just a real quick thing. I wonder when Donald Glover and Deadpool would remember how they said Donald Glover was going to be making like an animated Deadpool series for FX? I wonder if that's still happening because it was supposed to come out this year supposedly.
Um,
I haven't heard anything. Like they announced it, I've heard zero since then.
Yep.
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Nothing since August, really.
Yeah,
So that's cool. Hope it does come out.
I know, right? I'm like, make sure that actually happens, please.
Right. Here's some breaking news. Tony ain't shit.
Is it really breaking though?
Not that
Since
breaking.
you already said it earlier.
Sorry, breaking news. Tony still ain't shit. And-
Oh, there you go. That's better.
Okay.
That still ain't breaking.
We can't break him. So Black Panther's tickets went on sale, or early tickets, and they outpace all other Marvel Studios films, according to Fandango, as far as pre-sale.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I think, but at the same time, it has me a little worried because I have a feeling it's gonna like kind of fall in line with like The Last Jedi, where I have a feeling that just like a lot of people are going into this movie thinking it's gonna be something else. Then and they're gonna be like completely thrown off when it's just a comic book movie. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some issues like kind of thrown up, and actually I feel like most of them will probably be involving Michael B. Jordan's character, like that'll make him like more of a relatable villain or something like that. But in the end, I have a feeling it's like the expectations for this movie are going to be something else. Like I'm excited for this movie, but
are you trying to say that you think that the vast majority of people who are supporting this movie are expecting it to be a certain type of movie for a certain group, but it just might be a generic same type of Marvel movie?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be generic.
Well, not generic.
Like,
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Most
A comic book movie.
I mean, like considering the most recent like Marvel movies, like Spider-Man, Guardians, and
Thor
was the other one that was pretty different.
Thor Ragnarok.
What was it? Yeah, Thor. Like I think the director will have a little more leeway in what he wants to do and stuff like that, and there'll definitely be some, like it'll definitely be like more than a superhero movie, but it's still going to be mainly a superhero movie.
I think you're right.
You think everybody's going to be a black culture? It's going to be a very pro-black culture.
Yes, exactly.
That's what people are expecting this to be, as a giant cultural phenomenon movie.
Yeah,
and it's
so I'm fully expect it to be good, and I like it, but at the same time, I'm expecting people to kind of go into the movie like they did with Last Jedi expecting certain things and then giving it bad reviews because it didn't what they wanted didn't actually happen.
It didn't hit what they were hoping it would be.
Well, I think most people are just the fact that it's a all black, 90% all black superhero movie. I think as long as it's that I think everybody's fine. As long as like it doesn't be like, oh, the main villain is a white guy actually, or like I don't know. I think as long as it's African American focused movie, which obviously is going to be given the main character. So
given the main character's name is Black Panther.
Actually, I could see what's his name, like Claw, being the actual main villain in the end. Because I really feel like
how
Michael B. Jordan's character Killmonger is going to be like I'm like going to say this now. I'm going to say he's probably going to be like the best villain, Marvel villain since Loki. Mainly because I think he's going to be like more sympathetic than most of the others.
You think he's going to be better because he's sympathetic?
Like, yeah, I feel like he'll be a little more relatable of a villain.
Well, I think it's still to be good.
I got a question. Do you think it'll be fun or good?
I actually think it's gonna be good. Like, and I don't know.
Kendrick Lamar's on the soundtrack. It can't be bad.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar's producing the soundtrack. Duh. It's gonna be good. Gonna be good. All right, we'll talk more about that, I think, when we get to our movies.
All right.
Movie thing. All right, so into our 2017 in video games in 2017. We're gonna start off with what we thought were some of the best games of 2017, and then I guess we could each pick up what we did. And we're only doing really ones that we played, right? Like you can't really talk about ones that you didn't play.
That's the only one I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Play it. My favorite game was Lord of the Rings: Shadow of War. I never played it, but it looked really cool.
It looked really good.
It's cool, man. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. But...
Right?
Yeah, that Madden looked pretty cool.
That's a lie. All right, Justin, why don't you start us off a couple of your favorite games from 2017?
Even though I'm only 4 worlds in, I'd probably think my game of the year would be Super Mario Odyssey, just because the little I have. Okay, so I haven't. I did not play it because it's not good or something. I just haven't played it because there's just other stuff I've wanted to do, like catch up on comics or play Destiny or whatever. But
how about just read comics because you don't play Destiny? So
true. Anyways, yeah, but it's the first Mario game since Mario 64 where it felt like Mario 64. Mario 64 was always probably my favorite. That's the one I don't know. That's a topic for another day. Is which Mario is the best, but I don't know. Just playing that game. I'd never played Zelda, so I can't compare Breath of the Wild to that. But the whole reason I got my Switch was for Odyssey, and what I played of it, it's just there's nothing wrong with the game at all. I can't find anything even to nitpick that's bad that I don't like about it so far from the little I have played. So
yeah, so that's your favorite game, your top.
That's
game?
That's my favorite.
That's not my favorite, but it is in my top list. I haven't beat the story yet, but I think I'm pretty close. But it's probably one of the best games I've played in a couple years. It's just so good and fun. And there's like you said, there's not really anything that I found wrong with it. There's no bugs, there's no nothing. Nothing was wrong with it. It was just a really good, fun game to play. So, I know Tony, you beat it, right?
Yeah.
Is that your top game?
Nope.
Oh, okay, good.
But it is in my top list. It is in my
top list. Okay.
Yes. Because I just love the fact that we had a 64 kind of successor. So that's what made me joyous.
It took them long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know everyone's for a long time just just make a Mario 64 game with modern graphics, please. And they're just no, we're gonna give you a jetpack that shoots water instead. And everyone's like, I mean, that's okay, but okay, now what if we did kind of like Mario 64, except you're just running around on spears? And they're like, I guess that's fine. What if we did 4-player? No, I just want just want a Mario game with 60 graphics. Like, for God's sake. Otherwise, like, I guess not just games but moments was it was kind of cool having you out here for E3, Steven. That was pretty interesting.
That was pretty fun.
I just remember sitting at the pizza place and you finding out about the leaked details for the Xbox One X, and us both being like, no, man, I hope not. Like, I don't know, man. And then it was like, we're like, you know what, that's fair. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
like before, we were just like, that's going to be a tough sell. They won't do that. And all of a sudden they did it. We're like, oh, that's fine. I'm going to buy it.
They added the presentation. We're like, fuck yeah, getting this. It was pretty good. So, Justin, what other specific games did you have kind of in your top list? Maybe another two or three.
Again, Cuphead was a really good game. It's just the art style is just so cool, and the only thing I wish about that game that holds it back from me, I wish it had online co-op. Yeah, I would definitely like to do that, but like I don't want to I don't know. I just feel like that game was so like coveted by Microsoft as kind of like their biggest like fall game in kind of a way, like that was their exclusive game kind of after Crackdown got delayed. It was like that and Super Lucky's Tale. So it was like, I'm surprised they didn't like pour more into it to be like make sure that had like some kind of online capability. But it could have been a developer too, just being like, no, we don't want to do it. But
yeah, you're right. The art style with that, and even the audio, even the soundtrack and like the sounds and stuff, they're just like, it's just awesome to have 1920s and 30s graphics and style and sounds in a game. You're right. It is fun to play kind of by yourself for a little bit, but then you get frustrated because you keep losing to certain things or something, and then you're like, I don't want to play this.
Well, the thing is too is it's
not losing that game.
The one thing about that game that I don't think it's like it's difficult, but it's not difficult because it's like cheap. It's difficult because you just like your brain just like screws you on like a split-second thing, and you're like, shit. Yeah. Like it's like you get little micro anger, like fuck, and then you're like, all right, whatever. So you like move on like immediately, but you're like you're not like mad at the game, like, well, that's cheap. That's like it's not like that. It's really like, oh, I fucked up. Like it's not like that's why it's difficult. Because it was actually funny. I was like, oh, I'll just do this all on easy the first, and then if I decide and go back and try to get like, it's like, yeah, no, you don't actually progress if you play easy. You have to play it normal. I'm like, but I'm trying to think of another game. I don't think anything else came out this year that I liked. I'm just joking. No, as much as there's issues with it, I would still put Destiny 2 on that list. I mean, it's the game I've probably played the most last year. Well, other than Destiny 1, but that didn't come out last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, for what it's worth, I still feel like gameplay-wise, it's the best shooter, like as far as feel and the story. Like if you didn't think about that game as like as a longevity thing, as like a hobby or as long playing, like that story was really good. It was, I mean, they definitely stepped up on the campaign with the cinematics and all that stuff. But yeah, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Brandon, how about your favorite game? Damn, Justin gonna leave, not even gonna listen to Brandon. What a douche.
Oh shit.
I know, right?
My favorite game of last year was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. No, I was kidding.
And we're back in 2006.
No, it's actually Assassin's Creed Origins. I just like I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a while, so I think actually my last one was probably
2. Jesus.
So, but yeah, it's the map and like the whole world is just so huge. Like every mission feels a little, it feels different than the other. Like the actual like gameplay like system works so well. Everything like you can climb is always fun, and then like the visual, like everything is just so beautiful and like vibrant, and it's just like I don't think there's anything that really compares to it right now, unless maybe like what was that PS4 exclusive with
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah,
I mean,
but yeah, overall, and the story was really good, and like there's obviously like tons of Easter eggs that kind of you can still look for. I'm pretty sure I haven't even found all of them yet, but they all connect to like some of the older games, and that. So it's definitely I mean, I only really played it for the story and then like a few extra things, but it was so long that that's all I really needed. So
yeah, I actually am going to agree with you. My favorite game of 2017 was also Assassin's Creed Origins, mostly because we game shared, so I could play it. But you're right. Like literally, those games. Like I know Destiny 2 was one that like they were like, if you see it, you can go there, but you really couldn't. Like it was limited space. But in Assassin's Creed Origins, if you literally can see something, you can climb onto it. Like there is an actual boundary on the outside of the maps, yes, but like majority of the playable space, if you see it, you can go there, which is kind of crazy. And you're right, like the looks, like once I got the Xbox One X, it was like best
and
game I've ever seen.
Like even after I finished the mission, like because I for the most part I stayed like in line with the main story for the most part. I did a few side quests here and there and stuff like that, but like after I was done the full actual story, like I still had like probably like 30%
of the map not
40% that I hadn't like actually seen yet, and it's just massive.
Yeah. Plus the theme is ancient Egypt, and for me ancient Egypt is like one of the like most fun time periods to like learn about, just because of everything that was there. But that's just me. So
yeah.
Depends on how you look at that. So, what other games did you have on your list for top games of 2017?
Top games, obviously, Destiny 2. That's pretty much like all I play. And then also, yeah. And I want to. Was Final Fantasy 2017?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Wait, was it?
Yeah.
Like early.
Wait.
No, it came out in December. I think
it came in November. Yeah, it came like in November of the year before.
Because
was it?
Yes, it did. November 29th, 2016.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew it came out like super late. Everyone was like, it got delayed to after I remember Black Friday or something. And everyone's like, whoa, okay, and they're still gonna just not wait.
Okay. Yeah, I won't add that. So, and then the only other one I would probably say, because like I said, my sample size for my video games was kind of small, tiny. But yeah, like I would say even though it got a lot of bad rep, I actually really liked Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, I like the story and everything, and that was another one where the map was pretty large, and it was also another like beautiful game with like what I thought was a pretty decent story too. So, and like that one, I actually did a lot of the side quests and everything before I beat the game, and like that when you do the side quests, it actually kind of affects the story. So, and it actually kind of makes it feel the payoff even better at the end. So
gotcha. Justin, you played Mass Effect Andromeda too, right?
Yeah, that game is severely underrated just because it was kind of glitchy when it came out. It was like it was not really playable in the PC version, and then like it built, and then like the weird mouth animations and stuff was kind of the other problem, and then they kind of like fixed it, made it better at least. And like, I don't know, for me, I just don't really care about that stuff all that much. I can kind of see past it. It's not like too terrible, but like everything, like the gameplay and everything I played, I was like, oh, it's fun. I mean, it was a little bit different than traditional Mass Effect. It was a little bit more not really running gun, but it was just less. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was a really good game. Actually, I forgot that it even came out last year. I thought it was before
that the Mass Effect issues would have been EA's lowest, like smallest issue of everything that EA had last year. That the Mass Effect, like they would have wished that was their biggest thing, but it turned out not to be that.
What's so crazy about that is that like basically the biggest issues with Mass Effect was just like its launch, and literally that launch affected that game so much that studio had to close. Like that studio's gone. Like it's like holy shit. Like
yeah.
It just shows. I kind of feel like that's a trend in 2017. Is like the consumer in video games like pushing around these companies a little bit more than maybe in the past. Mm-hmm. Like we just have more we have more places of voice our like disinterest or like stuff that we're just not happy with. And I kind of feel like this is the year where like, oh, we kind of have to listen because Now media is kind of picking up on like, oh, what people say on Reddit, or like if there's a bunch of people just complaining about a game like Battlefront with the loot boxes, for instance, like it blows up and then, like it's everywhere, and all of a sudden your game is known as, oh, you have the game with the weird mouths, and then it's like it just whoop from there because then casual people go read those articles and they're like, oh, this game sucks. Okay, I'm not going to get it then.
And the other thing that hurts that as well is if it's a single player game like Mass Effect was. I think there was multiplayer, but like it's a mostly single player game.
Yeah, no one got it for multiplayer.
Then yeah. I am echoing on somebody's screen. Who is it? Maybe it was Justin?
I can hear it too.
I can hear it too.
I can hear
it.
It's
Tony.
Then I don't know who.
Wait, is it me?
Maybe.
Is it?
Oh, well. Yeah. I don't hear it anymore. But the single player games, basically, I saw a thing that like the cost to make those is up like 10 to 15%.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with that is there's no additional funds that come in that have loot boxes and DLC and stuff like that. So like that's why that studio closed, is because they put so much money into the game, and then they were hoping they literally the only thing that could keep them afloat was the sales, and then sales sucked, and so they had to close. Whereas a game, let's talk about Destiny 2, whereas it may have sold enough to like be all right, but then they have continuous money coming in. So it's not like it was a loss.
Or even Shadow of War, doesn't that have loot boxes in it as well?
It does, but
mainly,
it's that one is actually technically pay to play. I mean, you could pay to win, but who's going to play? I'm not going to play Shadow of War multiplayer.
That's the thing, and like pay to win doesn't make sense in a single player game.
Right.
Like I'm saying, like if someone just does not have the time to play the game and they just want to, go for it. Like it doesn't affect anyone else but that player.
Yeah,
it's when
So, but all right. So Mass Effect. Tony, your top games.
Well, I'm gonna start with my favorite one this year, which is Injustice 2. I think that
who should
that. Don't get me started. Anyway, I think it's a really fun fighting game, and I think what kind of has put it like above the pack with everybody else is that I think honestly it's an easy game to pick up, and it's like it's one of those games where like you have people who can be like really really good at it and like be like those tournament players, but then I think like a normal person like me, like I'm not, compared to like people who play that kind of stuff all the time, I am not. I am okay. I am decent. But like I think it's easy for like if anybody just took the time out to like learn a little bit. Like I know for me in like Street Fighter or like Mortal Kombat, even Mortal Kombat, like I usually pick one character and like it's hard for me to learn anybody else. So there's a playstyle that I like, but like with Injustice, I can pick like 4, 5, 6 characters. Like, oh, I can get these guys I can match these guys pretty good. And also go ahead.
Well, I was just saying in fighting games like that, because the little bit I have played of it, it seems like every character is pretty equal as opposed to like what combos and like different things you can do.
Yeah.
Whereas like some of the Mortal Kombat and like Street Fighter games, like there are certain characters who literally have like the best move combos, and that's why they get used, like you're saying. But I feel like with Injustice 2, it's pretty even of who you can choose to be.
Yeah, and I also like, obviously the roster is a group of people that I care about a lot. Like it's something I like love. It's superheroes. It's like DC superheroes, and like also like it has a great story. Like I think it has honestly probably one of the best, in my opinion, one of the like best superhero stories like this past year, from like even movies, comics, or whatever. In my opinion, I think it's a great story.
Did they make it into a comic?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. They have a comic like. Injustice 1 had a comic that led up to Injustice, and then Injustice 2, it has a comic from at the end of Injustice 1 to the start of Injustice 2.
Okay.
So yeah, they have and that's going on now.
Gotcha.
I will say I'm not really a huge fighting game person, other than like maybe like Smash Brothers, which is kind of a fighting game, but
it's a fighting game.
I played it, we played it. But when I played it in Maryland, like you said, it was definitely a game where like I picked it up, and even though I was playing on a PlayStation controller, which I don't really play PlayStation, obviously, because I don't have one, but yet, but it was like I picked it up, like, oh, I mean, even though I was getting my ass whooped by Tony, I was still like, oh, this is still fun.
I whooped your ass too.
I don't remember that, but anyways, Like I beat Tony once, but I think it was only because my character was like super like upgraded, or maybe he just.
And I think I didn't know. I didn't.
So he just let me win.
No, I think I didn't know the person I was using. So.
Oh, that's I thought he like remembers the details. He's like, no, I just didn't remember.
Yeah. But you bet your ass he's been practicing with that character now. Whoever it was, he knows all the combos.
Yeah,
like,
buddy.
Black Canary. Oh yeah, I'm gonna whoop your ass next time.
Yeah. And I also like it because like even like even like what I was saying about like like the recognizable characters. Like I remember even like at our housewarming party, like we were playing against like people here and like people who I know don't give a damn about superhero like who don't give a damn about like games or fighting games, but like, oh, I'll play it. I know who Catwoman is. I know
right. Oh,
Batman.
I can be Batman.
Like people yeah, and like people like, oh, and like even like at our New Year's Eve party, like people like would sit down here and watch while we played it for a little bit. Like, I know people give a shit.
It is a fun game to watch.
It is a fun game to watch.
Like even if you're not playing, it's like you know, especially like if you got people that know what they're doing and they're talking shit, and you're like, oh, I want to see how this plays.
It's a really fun game to watch Drunk Tony play because
I'm awful.
He was on the edge of his seat, standing up. It was great. The guy that beat him was fucking sitting Indian style.
See, he knows how to play. Like he plays. So I gotta be. He knows what he's doing.
He ain't playing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
So, but
what other games you got?
So I had 6 on this list. That's just from the ones I played, but I'm gonna go and use 2 because you guys talked about Mario. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which when I first got the Switch, like I played that nonstop because it's one of those games where like I can just. It's kind of like you guys were saying about Assassin's Creed. It was like if you see it, you can go there.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those games. I also like that when you're going there, you get sidetracked very easily. Where you're going somewhere, you see, oh, these people are getting attacked by this thing. Let me go help them. I help them, and then as I keep going, what's that thing over there? I go over there. Oh, there's a shrine right there. I do that, and like 2 or 3 hours later, I never made it to the where I wanted to go.
That happened to me in Assassin's Creed more than Brandon. I think I did a lot of the side stuff in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and like the game has so many like different systems and mechanics and stuff that you just find out about. Like today, like I think yesterday, I was like it has this radar that shows you like the shrines, which are like the little mini dungeons, and I see like this giant rock. I'm like, okay, is it under it? It's like a weird yellow rock. I'm like, okay, and like I'm hitting it. I throw bombs at it. I throw a bunch of stuff at it. Nothing happens. And like in the area, there's thunderstorm. Like it's raining and thundering. So I'm like, okay. And I know that my armor, like my sword armor, if you leave it somewhere, the thunder will like hit it. So I took all of my metal gear off, laid it on top of the giant rock. Thunder hit it and blew it up and showed the shrine.
Damn.
Like that kind of creative stuff.
I've seen some creative stuff, like creative videos from Zelda. I'm like,
I literally spent an hour cooking. Yeah, I literally spent an hour cooking food.
This motherfucker can't cook dinner, but he can cook in Zelda.
Yeah, goddamn right. It only takes 30 seconds to do it in there.
Oh, true.
So, and the last game is Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think was a very fun game. It's one of the like I don't know what it is about it, but like it's fun to like fight the robots in that game because it's not a thing of like, oh, I just keep shooting you or I shoot you in the head and you'll die eventually. It's like I actually have to plan how I'm gonna fight a certain thing. Like, oh, I know under its stomach it's weak to like ice arrows, so I have to somehow get it to fall or knock it over just to expose the stomach and shoot the stomach and stuff like that. So it's a game you have to be very creative and very kind of like on your toes with. And it's a huge. I don't know if it's as big as Assassin's Creed. I've seen like when Brandon was playing, I saw the map, but it is still pretty big and there's a lot of stuff to do. So it looks fantastic too. So
when I get my Spider-Man PS4 Pro bundle this year, I'll definitely pick up Horizon.
No love for Overcooked, Tony. Damn.
Actually, Brandon. wait,
I just got that. That game is actually really fun.
Yeah.
I got it over Christmas.
You just got it on.
It
what?
was on there.
It was on the list. Okay.
I was gonna put. See, the funny thing is, I was gonna put Wolfenstein on my list and make a point to actually like play it even for like an hour, just so I could be like Wolfenstein 2, but I'd never even fucking played it, so I couldn't use it as my game of the year.
That was another game.
You brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and Overcooked was my thing too.
Okay.
2 good games.
My list apparently has been. Go ahead. No, apparently what?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
No,
I was
apparently,
going to say my list, but you can finish your.
my bad, Steve. Sorry.
No, you
Apparently for Wolfenstein 2, like, cause I kept red boxing it. I never bought it. I like red boxed it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm at a point where I'm fighting 2 things, which I'm like, oh, okay, I still probably a little bit of the game left. I was listening to some other podcast. Somebody was spoiling, like, yeah, the end of the game's kind of underwhelming when you fight these 2 things. Like, god damn it! Like, I'm barely at the end.
got him. I was going to say that my games are basically, we talked about Assassin's Creed was my favorite. Super Mario Odyssey was on there. Cuphead. And then I also had Shadow of War on there, which we discussed a little bit. But you basically, I think, have to be a Lord of the Rings fan in order to enjoy Shadow of War. But the thing about Shadow of War that's really good is the Nemesis system. Like, you go, you do this thing, you fight a captain, and then if he beats you, you fight him, he remembers that, he gets stronger, and it's just like a pretty cool system that they have. So whenever Brandon decides to stop playing Destiny 2, he can try it out.
I'm gonna take Destiny 2 off my list and replace it with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because Mario Kart 8 is the best game.
I don't even have Destiny 2 on my list, so
I know. Well, you didn't, so I was like, wait a minute.
No,
I know I'm probably forgetting like 6, 7 games. I probably could have had a top 10, and
yeah.
But I only
put
put like 3 games down.
All right,
Maybe we'll talk about it soon.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about our biggest gaming disappointments of 2017. Let's start with the top one, Destiny 2. Biggest fucking disappointment.
You want to just add your rant into this?
It's actually on my list.
Hold on. All right, Justin needs a rant about Destiny 2. It'll probably cover everything that's
You'll probably cover everything. All right, so I'll try to just keep this short because
it is a long rant.
It could go. I could literally probably just bitch about this game for a half hour, and it's the bitch comes from the thing I love. And as I said earlier, I do, right? Every day I bitch about it. Okay, but literally, okay. So here's the thing. Preface all this by saying Destiny 2 is a good game. Okay, it is a fun game, especially if you have friends. It's even more fun to play. It's just that I don't know what happened between Bungie between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, but it's almost just like their focus and their mind shift completely changed. There's things that weren't broken with Destiny 1 that are now kind of, in my opinion, broken, like the shader system, like the collections are like we had collections for sparrows and ships and all this other stuff, and now we don't. And it's like, why? And we don't have private matches anymore. There's just like there's a lot of stuff I feel like that we had that we just don't anymore, and there's no explanation why. At least
especially because they didn't have to take the 360 into consideration anymore.
Right. That's my biggest disappointment with it is that you would have thought. So like when Destiny 1 originally came out, everyone was kind of like, oh, this didn't live up to the hype. But over the 3 years, they constantly built and they turned it into, like, in my opinion, one of my favorite games of all time. And then, like, so you thought, oh, Destiny 2, being that it's a sequel, is going to take another jump forward. And I kind of feel like it didn't. Like, I feel like it feels to me like maybe a bigger expansion, like bigger even than Taken King expansion for Destiny 1.
I don't even know if you can call it an expansion because they lost 80% of the content, not even the content, 80% of the systems in Destiny 1, they cut out in Destiny 2.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like they had they got pitched an easy pitch to hit a home run with Destiny 2. And for some reason they just didn't. And like the Eververse, the stuff with that, like I don't really, it's all cosmetic. So I'm not really too salty about it. But at the same time, like a lot of stuff is behind that loot box paywall. I mean, yes, you can earn them, but you don't earn them fast enough. And like the thing is, I have to this day, I mean, granted, I have not played as much as you guys, but I've gotten one exotic item out of those loot boxes, and it was a sparrow. And I already have like 1,000 sparrows, and I have nowhere to store them. So like vault space was an issue before. It wasn't solved.
I don't want to make you mad. I got the sweeper bot emote today. So
you're a fucking piece of shit. Thank you. But like, I want that selfie emote. But I'm like, do I have like? And I don't want to spend money because if I spend money and I don't get it, then I'm even more pissed off that I wasted $40.
That's the thing is you can't. They don't give you the ability to spend real money and buy exactly what you want. You have to spend real money and then chance it and gamble on it.
Because before in Destiny 1, emotes weren't in the crates really. It was just like, oh, you can just here's the emotes for this season or whatever, and you can go in and you spend $10 or $5 or $2 or whatever it was and get it. And I don't mind if they're in the loot boxes, but at least give me some other way of buying them if they're not in the loot boxes. It's just like I don't know. Just like I said, I will say going forward, I am confident they will pull the same thing they did with Destiny 1, and year after year after year they'll build this game and it'll be great. I bet you I would put money on it that when the fall expansion comes out, everyone will be like, holy shit, Destiny 2 is awesome now. I guarantee it. But just like Taken King with Destiny 1. It's
You want to
still
make a
fun.
bet on that?
Well, I don't. How do we quantify that bet? Like, there's no way. If Brandon says it's awesome,
Brandon already says the game's awesome. It doesn't count.
that's why. I said Brandon. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like I don't know. It's just frustrating because I feel like it was so easy for them to make things better, and they did make some things better. I'm not saying they didn't, but then they made some things worse too. And I just don't. I don't understand it. I understand they're a company and they have to make money, but. Like the shader thing is honestly probably my number one, even though it's like the most minor thing. Is just that shaders are now consumable. I just don't get it.
You got on me today about a minor inconvenience like complaint, and yours is the shader. So.
Well, I thought you were complaining that they did something good, but you were complaining that they just didn't communicate. Yeah, that's a whole different story.
My complaint was communication.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like if you were in a terrible relationship and your significant other was like, all right, I promise we're going to communicate more and I'm going to tell you more about what I'm thinking, and then over the next 3 years she fucking doesn't and then does some shit behind your back. That's what it's like. Exactly what that relationship's like.
Well, yeah, that was like today with the yeah.
What'd you say, Brandon?
Oh, go ahead. You can finish first.
Just get it out of your system. It's just like the news from the day with the faction rallies. It's like I feel like constantly they just try to get you to not play the game more than they should. Like I get that they want to have a special weapon for like every faction rally, but at the same time, it's like, what's the point of playing if you can't get stuff? Like,
so hold on here. So Tony, let's give you a little bit of background on what today happened. Yeah, you do that. All right. So the expansion came out in December, right? First of its virus. So with the expansion came a bunch of new loot, like guns and armor or things like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's the factions within the game, and so this event that's going on right now is a faction rally. So you basically pledge to a certain faction, and then you can start doing stuff to gain rep and get some of their.
So it's a guild.
Yes, kind of. Yeah,
okay.
There's
Injustice does that. And Mortal Kombat just did that.
Yeah. So basically, because there was a new expansion, and this is season 2, so Bungie's breaking down their years into seasons when they give you new content, right? So basically, there was some new weapons that were available, but then when the patch hit on Tuesday, those new weapons are gone, and the only way to earn them, exactly. So the weapons are gone.
Well, I don't think they were ever. I honestly I think that the whatever you guys sent to the group chat, I actually believe that's what they intended, because that's basically what they were already doing. Only they already had a little extra content for us to get to begin with.
Yeah.
Wait. So are you about to tell me that these new guns, they put them behind a loot box?
They're basically whoever wins the faction. There's 3 who wins. That ones will be purchasable.
So there's there's one weapon per faction.
In game money, not real money.
So there's one weapon per faction. The faction that wins the rally, whoever helps the faction get the most points or whatever, you can buy that gun for cheap from that faction. That one gun. Each faction has one gun. The next time they do a faction rally, there will be another gun that's for the victor, and the gun that was available this time goes into the loot pool that you can randomly get drawing, and then they'll do that again to where there's another new weapon, and then only the other 2 are available. So that whole convoluted system, right? Nobody knew that. Yes, nobody knew that until they had to come out and say, because people were complaining that we weren't getting new stuff. There was a system in place. So that's what. Besides the fact that people were mad you couldn't get new stuff, people were mad that they were never we weren't communicated to that there was a hidden system in place for getting this content.
Right. And
almost
people originally just thought it was a glitch. People
they thought they just fucked up.
Glitch. But and then the more and more I think about it, I'm kind of with Brandon. I think this was intended. I think this is the system they had in place. They just didn't say anything about it. And that's exactly to me, that's just just as bad. It's just oh, well, you could have told us. So people weren't hey, I'm gonna get all these cool guns, and then you couldn't get them. But that's
and that's just one example of Bungie that where they've done a bunch of things and have hidden systems, and then they don't tell people, and then when we figure out something's wrong, then they have to come back and try to explain themselves.
Yeah, the other one that I think was kind of a big deal too, that was maybe a month or so ago, was the whole thing with the XP system.
Yeah.
Because there's so basically, in order to get the loot boxes for free, you have to rank up with XP. I don't know how much is, like, what, 5,000 XP or something
100,000.
like that? 100,000, excuse me. I'm way off. Anyways,
yeah.
But you get XP pretty constantly throughout the game. So I'd say if you played 4 hours, you'd probably get 1 loot box-ish. Maybe 2, depending on what you're doing. But regardless, you'll probably get like 1 loot box a night if you play like on a weeknight. Well, what people had found out is that there was kind of like a cap to how much wasn't like the cap to how much you could gain.
So each week you could get 3 loot boxes on a normal like scale, XP scale, and then they throttled your XP gains down by 80%. So
that's what it was. Yep. Yeah. So basically, then they're throttling your XP. So now basically,
well, no. But like the 3, you get faster than normal, and then and then what it's supposed to do is go back to normal, but it didn't go back to normal.
It went lower. It buffed you down. But there's just stuff like that, and then like people found out about it, and they're just like, oh,
like, who did this?
Right.
We didn't put this there.
Did someone from our rivals over at EA come into our game and change this? We didn't do this.
No. And then they're like, hey, Chris Barrett, you should fix this.
No, wait, did you guys notice? Wait, so did you guys notice it before it was like brought up that it was happening?
I don't think we noticed it like as opposed we didn't notice it as like a specific thing, but we just noticed that it was exponentially slower to gain XP to get the loot boxes. But
you have to play more. You have to play longer and more.
What I would say is I feel like maybe like 80% of stuff like that, people like on the Destiny Reddit like will drill down and experiment and find out, and then like they'll be like,
they get numbers,
and then they'll be like, boom, everyone will see it and go, oh, and then all of a sudden Bungie's like, oh shit, someone actually did the research and found that. Okay, well we're gonna fix this in the next thing. And that's the thing.
Is that
like every day it's something like that? Well, day week.
So wait, is that like, I don't want to say, are they technically doing anything bad? Because is that like how they developed the game to be, like how they wanted it to be? Where like you at a certain point they're gonna have to kind of slow things down for you.
So no,
you're not progressing too fast.
The problem, the real problem with it is that it displayed as if you were getting normal experience, but it wasn't actually. You weren't actually gaining any experience. It
would say you got 100 XP and you would really only get 50.
Yeah,
that was the biggest with that.
Yeah. It was misleading.
Problem. Yeah, it's like I mean, like if they honestly, I probably wouldn't even notice like if it was showing one thing or another, but like the fact that it said 100 XP, but you probably only got like 30 was what pissed off everybody the most. I think.
Yeah. Because they felt like they're being.
So they're more transparent, saying, "Hey, at a certain point, you're not gonna get as much XP."
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
They showed.
Well, here's the thing: people would still be pissed that happened, but I think a lot of people would be either one, less pissed, or two, be pissed and then get over it quicker, as opposed to them what they do now, which is currently don't tell you anything, and then they have to come back and tell you what's wrong.
Now you don't trust them. So before you just be pissed at them, like, oh, that's a dumb decision. But now you're like, that's a dumb decision, and now you lied to me. So
right, pretty much.
Because a lot of people, because of that type of stuff, they're just like, oh, I'm just not playing this game anymore because they're just this developer's dishonest or whatever.
Yeah.
And the one other thing I'll say about Destiny 2 is I don't feel like they have a test team at all, because there was one gun that came out. It was called the Prometheus Lens, and it literally broke PvP for like a week and a half because it clearly was not tested. It was so overpowered. It was literally like basically the gun, Tony. It's like a laser beam, basically, and there's not.
I heard about this.
Yeah,
it's like a one-shot kill. Kind of thing.
Boom, hit him, like 3 seconds max. It was like boop, done, boop, done. And it was really the weird thing about it though, Tony, is that it was actually like once everyone had the gun for that weekend, it was actually pretty fun when everyone had the gun. But for like the first few days when people had the gun, like you couldn't even play PvP because if you didn't have that gun, you were literally just gonna.
Well, here's the thing: is they released.
Did you guys have that gun?
Yeah, well, you could purchase it. They made it available to
Yeah,
purchase.
they made it for purchase
Like
on the
Mm.
Friday.
So it came out on a Tuesday, and then that Friday it was available from the guy that comes every Friday, and you could buy it. So then everybody was
Okay.
and I think it was the following Tuesday they nerfed it to Oblivion.
yeah.
Like, we're gonna nerf this way
That's
more.
another thing. That's another thing is they had that big issue, and they immediately nerfed it within 3 days. But we have a bunch of other issues, and they're like, we're going to get to it in fall 2018.
Yeah.
Why can't you do it now? Like, what are you doing now? Anyway, that's too much Destiny 2.
Yeah. But basically,
The multicast, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the actual biggest issue is that they just never created enough in-game content, so they had to lock it behind a lot of things.
When you say content, do you mean loot content or do you mean actual stuff to do?
I mean everything, like no, just like guns, armor pieces, everything. I just feel like they didn't prepare for how quickly people were going to play this and how quickly people were going to accumulate this in-game content. So they tried to slow you down from getting it.
Let me ask you guys a question. I think I asked you guys and I can't remember. Destiny 2 right now, like, well, I guess when it came out, which had more, Destiny 2 when it first came out or Destiny 1 at the end, right before Destiny 2 came out? If I were to play Destiny 1 at the end right now and play Destiny 2 right now, which one has more in it?
Destiny
I would say
1.
Destiny 1? Okay. By a lot?
probably because
Because it has what, four
raids? 4 raids?
Expansions. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 raids.
So were you guys expecting a Destiny 2 that had everything Destiny 1 had?
Not
with
as
some tweaks in it?
I wasn't expecting as much as Destiny, the end of Destiny 1, but way more than what they currently have. That's what
I was
the biggest.
I was hoping that there would be a little bit more of a steady like output of new
Which is
rewards.
which is another thing that they said they were going to do, but they didn't.
Yeah, they're like this time around, content will like actual stuff to do will be coming more constant, and literally it's been at the exact same rate as Destiny 1.
Yeah,
like to the T. Like literally, Destiny 1 when it came out, the following December, first expansion came out. So now, if the next expansion doesn't come out till May, then that's literally exactly the same schedule. And then fall, we already know something's coming in fall because they basically confirmed it in that post last week. But there was something I was gonna say. Shit.
Do you guys think there'll be a Destiny 3? And I'm not speaking in terms of like there'll be so much public backlash, Activision won't sign a contract. I mean, like, do you think Bungie even has a Destiny 3 plan?
No,
I think they.
I don't.
I
Think
lean
If a new
towards
console
yes,
comes,
only because I don't know.
they've already
The fact
said
that Luke Smith isn't even like involved, is almost like not involved at all anymore. Like makes me think it's a no.
Well, there's
Unless-
already been stuff that came out that said that Bungie's already working on something other than Destiny.
Right.
oh, something different.
So yeah,
I mean, it's not
something
like they can't.
after Destiny. It's not like they can't do both.
Yeah.
But if they're
And it's entirely possible that they're trying to learn from their mistakes and start work now, you know, like develop this for far in the
2020.
future, so that it's actually like fully developed.
Make it like a World of Warcraft where there is no technical
Honestly,
World of
I'd
Warcraft.
be okay with that. I
That's
don't
what I want. That's what I wish Destiny 2 was. I wish Destiny
Yeah.
2 was not Destiny 2. It was Destiny, the Red Legion, or something like that. And literally, I could still go do all the stuff I had in Destiny 1 because there's no reason. It's the same engine. Everything basically works very similar, if not the same. There's no reason why they cut all that content other than, I mean, I can't think of anything really.
Well,
They
actually,
changed some stuff, but yeah.
there was a article on Game Rant where they interviewed I think it was the one of the designers or the director of Anthem about, like, they asked him some of the questions about like why you know, Destiny is and some of the other places are like having certain struggles and stuff like that.
I did read that on.
And
There was actually
and,
on
like, one of the things was like specifically was asked about was Vault Space. Oh, fuck, I wish I could find it because he said
So he basically said that if you think about Vault Space, like each character, each item is like say 5 kilobytes or whatever, right? And so each player, like 2 megabytes. But then if you think about the amount of player base, like that equals 7 terabytes of memory, and like that doesn't seem like a lot to a game director. But when you constantly have to update that and upgrade it, and like people are you know, taken out of the vault and taken into the vault. Like that's a big component of the space and stuff like that. So he made some good points, but again, people were saying, why does this guy have to come out and say stuff about our game, about Destiny, when his game isn't even coming out for another 8 months? The people that made Destiny can't even tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just say, "Oh, we're working on it."
Yeah, we're working on it. We hear you.
Well, that's the thing is, I think if they did, I feel like they need to do it. So they do their weekly thing on Thursdays. I think another thing that'd be cool is if on like Wednesdays or Fridays or Mondays, I don't give a shit what day, they did like a thing where they like talk about like something like Vault Space, why Vault Space is something that how that works and like all the inner workings of it and stuff like that, so that people like understand. Because I think sometimes people bitch about stuff and they just don't know that, oh well, there's actual technical limitations here that, you know, screw shit up. Because I would love to hear how their process for testing weapons is, because like I said, that fucking gun was literally like the most OP gun I remember playing with. It was fun, but
All right.
I think you mentioned that they should like kind of like have like a weekend or something like that every once in a while where it's just like that all, or no, maybe it's just like an actual just like specifically like game type where that's all it is.
yeah.
Laser tag.
Laser beams.
All right.
You can't do like a Halo multiplayer kind of thing, right? Like you can make rules and like, oh, we just have this gun, or like we just do this. These
No, private matches are coming, and then it's not gonna be that detailed.
No,
Like,
they're working on
game
it.
mode in the map, but like not
Which is
snipers only.
which also blows my mind because fucking Halo had it, and they made Halo. It's like
Halo fucking 2.
I mean, it's a little more difficult though for them because it's
I know it's a little more involved, but
yeah, it's like there's only one real sniper in Halo, or maybe like two.
yeah, well, yeah, there's like probably like 15 weapons total.
even if it was just like power weapons only, or primaries only, or specials.
I mean,
or like scouts only, auto rifles only, you know, like stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, we do that ourselves anyways, though. It's
yeah,
Yeah.
we do it ourselves.
We do it ourselves, but
Next
yeah.
game. All right. Let's get off.
Can I get some
Let's get something
disappointments?
else.
Can I give some disappointments? God damn.
We've only done Justin.
All right, Tony.
Jesus
Let's go over your disappointments.
I got 3, so I'll blow through them real quickly.
All right.
My first one is actually Destiny 2, because I have never in my life seen 3 human beings so disappointed. I've never seen the shit.
I have a few gripes, but I'm not disappointed. That's
Well,
I feel
I've
like
never seen 2 human
Justin's
beings
like
so-
super disappointed. I'm disappointed. Brandon's like a little disappointed.
I mean,
He's like,
I'm
I
more disappointed because I have to mute my phone because otherwise I'm just getting like 5,000 texts about how bad it is right
Yeah, that's
Brandon's in the burning house. It's fine. Brandon's house burning. It's fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. All right, Tony.
this
So
is
Destiny
fine.
2. So your complaint was
Yeah,
us
so-
complaining.
Well, yeah, your sadness. My second one is that there's still no virtual console on Switch. They need to make that happen. Easy money.
Yes, easy money. Easy money.
They're in the burning house with Brandon. All the money's there with him. And my last one is
Fine.
Shadow of War. For some reason, Steve, I loved Shadow of Mordor. I platinumed it on my PS4.
Wait, you played Shadow of
For some
War?
reason- Yeah, I red boxed it. I told you, man, that red box. But like, I played that red box.
So
Almost
what about
Red
Shadow-
box, it is great.
Huh.
No, but like I don't know what it is. Steve. Like I haven't, like it hasn't grabbed me. It's fun. Like it's still fun. I don't know.
Not Injustice.
Like when I played it, I played it. It's no injustice to you. I tell you that much. No, but I don't know. Like I love Shadow Mordor. Like Shadow Mordor. Like
Yeah.
like I said, I platinumed it. I played the shit out of it. But I don't know what it is about Shadow of War that's. I don't know. I feel like it's doing a little too much to me. Like from what I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I feel like there's a lot. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't gotten. Maybe I need to
I think
check it out again. And
I think
and,
it's
like,
just
get into it.
what your preference of games kinds of conflicts with that. Like,
No, it's a single player story based game.
Yeah,
and
but
it
it's not-
has like the Batman.
okay, but
Combat.
but it's more than just. It really is more than just like that though. Like it's. I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what it would be for you, Tony. I feel like that's would be your
I don't
perfect
know.
kind of game. Because there's like
And
there's
I
the
ju-
main story and there's a bunch of side quests that you can go do.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
conflict with the
yeah.
that help the main story. Is
It's
it
a
maybe
bigger
the
Shadow
progression
Mordor.
system? Is
I
that
don't know. Part of me think it's just like maybe I haven't really like sat down with it.
I think you need to sit
I'm
down
pretty
with
sure
it.
the weekend. I'm pretty sure the weekend I rented it. Like I wasn't like home most of the time.
Yeah,
I
think
really
you need
haven't.
to
I
sit
really
down
haven't gotten that far into it.
and the
Yeah,
story.
people are
The story is
getting fired
is
over
great.
at Warner Bros. because he didn't have time to play the damn game. Guys on a podcast trashing our game, and you know what? He didn't even fucking play the damn game.
Right?
Hey, I played the other game. Hey, I played Warner Brothers other games. So
True.
So
I
my
don't know, maybe
recommendation,
that's-
Tony, would be to sit down and play it.
I'm gonna
For
do
a
that.
little
Saturday. I don't think I'm doing anything this weekend past Friday. So that'll be my week. That'll be the weekend thing.
All right, so we got Virtual Console definitely needs to come, and you need to play Shadow War and Destiny 2. That's something. So Destiny 2 is on my gaming disappointments with. My other one is Madden NFL 18. I feel like Madden been a disappointment for the past fucking 10 years. They didn't give us any new features except for the fucking story mode, which they put in FIFA last year, and it wasn't even really that good. Like, it was a pretty shitty story.
I liked it.
The story was okay, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like I would much rather.
I'd rather them just put more time in the franchise, which is
franchise. Yes, that's all they need to do.
like
100%.
I will say, I know you don't play Ultimate Team, but Ultimate Team, they definitely made it easier to play and not spend money. Which is very weird when you think about what happened with a lot of EA's other stuff. But
yeah, so they did do a good job with Ultimate Team, and it was kind of fun to play for a little bit when I did. But the franchise, the core now is Ultimate Team, but I mean, majority of the people that used to buy Madden and still want to buy Madden are franchise mode players.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, like, again, in Madden 2004 through 2008 had wonderful franchise features, and they just took them out.
It's like Destiny 1 to Destiny 2.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
the
I'm
original
really hoping.
Destiny 2. Like,
really
remember the
hoping-
radio show and shit? Like,
Yeah.
there was, I don't understand it. Like, NFL 2K3 fucking back in 2003 had more features than like
I
the
know, right?
presentation. There was a whole
could even-
Sports Center
You
show.
could even play first person in NFL 2K3.
Although that was
That was awful.
It was
Yeah.
awful. It was awful. But if you think about what they could do now with it, that'd be great. But it's terrible. My other disappointment is Crackdown 3 got delayed because the reason it's a disappointment is the Xbox has really no big exclusive games, and that was supposed to be their one, 2017 ender.
I know, like you
and
said
it's-
earlier, like Cuphead was probably their biggest game in the fall.
Yeah,
And that's-
it's a
which is
$20
great.
game.
But it's like it's an indie game. It's not like a AAA. They didn't have any AAA game
Yeah.
come. I mean,
So-
Forza 7, I guess, but it's like
No.
let's be honest. The only people are getting that are people who are getting racing games. So
Yeah.
or people that got that had the Xbox One X and were like, fuck it, I want something pretty.
Right. Let me get the combo. So those are my disappointments. Brandon, what are your biggest gaming disappointments?
I think I only really have. I mean, we've already. I have gripes for Destiny, obviously, but I really have like one disappointment, and that's Battlefront 2's story mode, like the single game campaign, and like it's really short. It's like barely anything of purpose actually happens. You're like. You care if I spoil anything or?
No.
So
I go ahead.
Spoiler alert
spoilers-
for anybody who
Yeah,
has
you
actually-
not played Battlefront 2
main
story mode and you care.
the main character, what's her name? Iden.
Eden
Verso.
Verso.
Yeah, she's
Shiva. Her name
Like,
is Shiva.
a bad-
Thundercrown.
bad guy for probably like 1.5 missions, and then she switches sides.
Wait, isn't the whole
Like-
point of the game is like you are the bad guy?
That's what they
That's
tried
what they
to
push it as.
sell you on.
Yeah,
but
that's what
like,
they push it as, and you become a good
yeah, and for the most part, it's basically just like a tutorial on how to play the game, like so to get you into the rest of the multiplayer and shit. Like they have random missions where you play as Leia and Luke and Han, but it's like, what do I care? Like, I'm gonna do this anyway. I can figure it out on my own in the multiplayer. I don't need to do this. So, and then the other disappointment is that Spider-Man is only PS4 exclusive.
That's
Fuck you, Sony. I hope Disney buys you.
right?
I actually had
They'll be on the PlayStation.
I actually had two other disappointments other than just that.
Oh, really? What have
Mine
I
are
done?
super quick though. Okay, so my first one is just the lack of first party exclusives for Xbox in general. Like there's just not a whole lot we know about. I mean, I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff comes out, like, because like E3, I was like what, State of Decay, and like we know Halo 6 will come someday, Gears of War 5, I imagine someday.
They
have
to
like
get
nothing.
They have no new IPs at all. Right?
Like PlayStation had just as good a conference, and all they did is re-show what they showed the year before, and like that's fine but they just they have Spider-Man, they have Last of Us, they have like that the one that was it Days to Die, the Detroit, they have a bunch of shit.
Right?
Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone. That's it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they don't really need to do anything because they already have like 6, 7, 8 exclusives coming out that people are like, I want them. So whereas Xbox, I don't feel like they really have. Like State of Decay, it's a niche thing. Sea of Thieves, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the lack of exclusives. Like, and I feel like E3 they'll rectify that because a lot of that stuff comes out before E3, and they're gonna have to talk about something. So I imagine we'll get some surprises from them, or maybe not even surprises, but just announcements. But yeah, it was just kind of disappointing that like this fall they had like nothing. Like basically, like we said, Cuphead and Lucky's Tale, Super Lucky's Tale was basically it.
Yeah. They had to push exactly, Tony. They had to push like Assassin's Creed Origins is a multi-platform game, but they pushed it really hard on the X, and they pushed like Battlefront 2 a little bit on the X, even though it was a PlayStation thing. Like they kind of pushed third-party games more than they did their own.
They didn't even have the licensing deal with Destiny, and it was all over their like store and saw it in ads and stuff. So like they literally were just saying like we have everything, it's better on X. Like that was their kind of push, and I think that was kind of on purpose. Is like, oh, they wanted to get the Xbox One X out successfully, and like everything go well with that launch, and just be like, hey, all these games are going to look better than PlayStation on our system, and that was kind of the other push. But now they need to start bringing games that like take advantage of it and like really take advantage, because they just did the update for Forza Horizon 3, and granted it looked very good already in the S with the HDR features to that, but like they were like, oh, this is coming out in a few months. And I thought, oh, it's because they're going to put a lot of work into it. And it loads faster, but it doesn't really look that much better. So it's kind of like, okay, well, if it's, you're hoping for a little bit more marked improvements.
Yeah. What's your last gripe? Oh, Tony's got a question.
Question on that. Do you think, how do I want to say this? Like, so I know the X, the 4K is factually better than the Pro because it's a more powerful console.
Mm-hmm.
Does like, what I'm thinking, like, how do people see that per se? Because I don't know now, like, if you go to a store, because I don't really pay attention now if I go to a Best Buy or anything, are most of the consoles plugged into a 4K TV? Like, like they have the Xbox, like they'll have like TVs and stuff showing stuff, or like if you go into a Walmart or whatever, Target, whatever.
If it is,
are the TVs that they display?
It's probably not. It's either not a 4K or it's a very low quality 4K.
Right.
Do you think that kind of hurt? They haven't said how the X is sold at all yet, have they? Have they mentioned anything of like how?
I do know the president of Xbox said it sold like pretty well. Like they were very happy with how it sold. I don't remember what the official numbers were, but I know it was like it sold. I mean, obviously the Switch probably was like the highest selling thing I'd imagine, but it did very well.
Yeah, I think I read that it's sold PS4 last month, but overall, I don't know.
Okay, like I would think, like, do you think that makes it hard for them? Because I mean, a normal person going to the store is like, I want a thing that plays 4K. I want my son said he wants a console that plays 4K, and the guy's like, well, you have a Pro and an X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how much are they? And you see one's $100 cheaper. Okay, I'm gonna get that one. And like you have no reference, because even if you're like, okay, let me look on YouTube a 4K video, you're not really getting the X is 4K. You're just getting how YouTube shows you 4K. Like you don't have a thing to display it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, first of all, I think the kid is gonna have a little more say than, oh, I want a system that plays 4K. He's probably gonna be like,
you know what I'm saying?
He's gonna be like, I want an Xbox.
Yeah.
He's like,
well,
no.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
He's like, hey mom, can you give me a video game system that plays 4K games? 4K. It's like, what the fuck is that?
I was like, what? What game is that?
A big thing. I'm reading an article now. So in the UK, PS4 is a lot more popular in Europe than it is in Xbox or whatever. So in the first week, the Xbox One X in the UK sold 80,000 units, and it took the PS4 Pro 4 weeks to hit that number.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
That's
what
just-
it was.
I-
Pro
that's-
versus the X. The X was actually selling a
It
lot
sold a
better.
lot faster. Yeah. So
But I also feel like
Is that because of the 4K? Because it's new. It's a new.
I
thing,
think
a new
Xbox did
console.
a better job of
per se.
pushing it. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of
Okay.
I think unless you
Yeah.
like in like people like us that kind of like follow gaming, like video games in general, like if
Mhm.
you're a casual person, I think you probably didn't even know what the Pro was. Most likely,
Mhm.
unless you were a 4K owner and you're like, oh, just for some reason found out about it that way because like they really pushed it, like the X, like these kept like X gonna give it to there's like all up in your face with it. So.
Yeah, 'cause actually you're right here. Because I mean, if I wasn't in the PlayStation world, like I really don't. When I notice PlayStation commercial, I don't really notice like PS Pro. I'm like, okay, this is PlayStation. All right.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure they do say Pro in there, but I'm like, okay, PlayStation.
Yeah.
I was just wondering that. Like that just made me think. Like, how do you, like, to an average person, like going into the store, like back like when a PS3 and an Xbox 360 first came out, you have an 1080p TV versus a normal TV. You can obviously that's an obvious difference you can see in a store, but like 4K, I don't know if they display a lot of the games in 4K. So that was just thought. That's just a thought.
Right. Well, the other thing too is like the one thing a lot of people are talking about with the Xbox One X is this like even if you don't have 4K, it's actually advantage. There's like an advantage to it because
Yeah.
the games. I will say the one thing I say everything looks nice, but I mean it's not like holy crap night and day necessarily on every game. But the one thing I have definitely noticed is load times are
ridiculously fast.
Me and Steven will land like a full like 10 seconds before anyone else.
So
Like,
here's so me and
get all our
Brad,
shit done. And
me
we're
and
like,
Brandon were doing something yesterday, I think. And so we went to the tower. I landed, ran all the way to Ikora, and was talking to her and asked like what meditation we should do next. Matt and Brandon hadn't landed yet.
Yeah, I know.
It was literally
yeah,
like a
this is
full
Brandon right now.
30 to 35 seconds. That's
Yeah.
pretty hilarious.
it's definitely yeah. That I feel like is the big.
Yeah, saying Brandon should buy a Pro, X, huh?
Brandon should buy a new cell phone first.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Jesus Christ.
I'm doing good. I'd say I'm at 51%. I haven't done anything with it.
100% 2 seconds ago.
All right. So did you have one more, Justin? We are.
No,
this
we can
is-
skip it. Let's
Yeah,
move
this
ahead.
is-
all right.
Thank God we didn't do all four.
Yeah, I know.
Good thing we broke them up.
We
That's
would
a
have
good
been here till
idea.
fucking 2 in the morning.
All right, so we're gonna talk about a little bit about what we're looking forward to in 2018. I'm just gonna list what I'm looking forward to, and if anything.
God damn it, Tony.
So not any particular order. I'm gonna look forward to Microsoft exclusive titles. Justin, you mentioned E3. I'm hoping we can get some news on that. I want some news and an update on the Pokemon game for the Switch. That would be of interest to me. Any update on Madden would be great. Kirby Star Allies. I don't know if you've seen that, Tony, for the Switch.
Yeah.
So that one looks good. Jurassic World Evolution on the Xbox. Anthem, obviously. Mario Tennis. Got to get that Mario Tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And the Walking Dead game by Overkill. I'm very curious to see some gameplay from that. So that's just my list of. I'm sure I've missed.
Yeah. The thing
good
I am
stuff, but-
definitely most excited about is the fall expansion for Destiny 2. I'm hoping that it's like tasty and it like literally
Not
just
the
like
April expansion.
I'm not, to be honest, I feel like that's already done. And I feel like it's gonna be just like Curse of Osiris, and it's gonna come out and people are gonna be like, and it's gonna be just whatever.
Yeah.
Like because literally Curse of Osiris, honestly, I don't know. That was over in like 2 nights. I was done with that. But anyways, let's continue. So and then Anthem is probably like the single game I'm most excited for because if they don't fuck it up with loot boxes, Anthem. If they don't fuck it with loot boxes and it actually looks as good and is cool and they really do some cool things with it, like they think like it looks like it's gonna be like a third-person Destiny almost. If they do that and they execute it well, and it's BioWare. It's like the main BioWare team, not the team that made Andromeda, even though Andromeda was good, but it's like the main line BioWare team that made the first Mass Effect and all that. I just feel like that's a perfect marriage, and then that'll be really cool. And then, like you said, Switch, just all games on the Switch. Metroid Prime 4, I'm really excited to see. I'm hoping that at E3 we get more of that because I love the Metroid Prime series back in the day on the GameCube. And then, I'm trying to think, there was one other game. Fuck. All right, you can go Brandon or Tony. No, come back to it. Oh, I know what it was. There was an Avengers game in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
That
Square
they-
Enix thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they made it, and it was like this is a big deal, and like this, all these, and like we've gotten that teaser, and that's it. Like, give me more of that because like that could be really cool depending on what it is, because it's like it's supposed to be a AAA title. It's not supposed to be just some quick little bullshit game that's like, oh yeah, we just whipped this together to get money, kind of thing.
What if we go to see Infinity War and they have a trailer for the game before?
That'd
That'd
be
be dope.
Pretty cool.
What if it was like Destiny, except you're the Avengers?
That'd be pretty awesome.
So you
Like,
actually
don't they
disappointed
have
then.
a game like that? Isn't there a game like that?
DC
like-
Universe Online. Because of Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. He always talks like great, like that game's like the greatest game ever. And I've tried it like 4 times, and every time I'm like, this is just not fun. I don't like this. It's fine. It's just like whatever. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's not for me, I guess.
All right, Brandon, what's on your looking forward to 2018 list?
Just like you with I guess now that they can't really talk about Xbox One X anymore, like E3, seeing what Xbox has to promote for themselves. Also excited for Anthem. I mean, if it's as like good of a good game as they're hyping, and like Justin said, I mean, he's already gone over most of it, but I'm pretty hyped about that. Obviously, Kingdom Hearts, because it's coming out this year apparently.
Yup.
Not even for the pie bet. It's just like
Justin will lose a bet.
not.
Here's
I
the
mean,
thing. If it does happen, I will be fine with that, because as much as I eat a whole fucking tube of toothpaste, Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be fucking badass. So that's fine. I just think it's not gonna come out until at least March of next year. I'm gonna
either
lose
way,
a bet still, but
I'm excited for it. If hopefully it comes out sooner than later. And then the last thing I've been kind of getting more and more interested into is Cyberpunk 2077. Supposedly it's supposed to come out this year, or it's at least it's being teased.
yeah, they have not said a word about it since they announced it, which was like 2013.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I actually started playing Witcher this year, and I think it's made by the same people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and those games were that game was pretty fun. So, and if this is a more like I guess futuristic version of that, I think that'd be pretty awesome. So, and I think that's it.
All right. Justin.
One more thing, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I was just thinking, I was like, is anybody gonna mention?
Oh yeah, I
Red Dead?
forgot about that. Holy
I was like,
shit! I forgot
that's
about that.
coming out soon. Like they said, spring. I thought. So I was
Also,
like,
Far Cry 5. Is anybody interested in Far Cry 5?
oh fuck yeah,
Yes,
Far Cry.
sir.
Next,
Yeah,
like,
see.
next month or the month
See,
after.
you got
Quite a bit.
All right, Tony, what's on your list?
Make mine's quick. God of War. Detroit Becoming Human. Excited about those two.
All the
hopefully
PlayStation
a virtual-
exclusive games.
At least PlayStation will have some.
Right.
Cuphead too. Oh,
I
Cuphead too. Anyway, so, virtual console. Just release it. Hopefully, NetherRealm, the guys who make Mortal Kombat Injustice. Hopefully, they'll announce. I just want to hear what Mortal Kombat 11 is gonna be or look like. I'll take that. Hopefully more Xbox exclusives so I can play my Xbox, and hopefully a price drop on PS4 Pro, because having a 4K TV, I'm believing now, and I'm not paying $400 for another console. It got me fucked up.
Oh,
300 maybe.
too.
I got another one, and I bet you the same one as Brandon, because it was literally when I made a list before, because we were gonna do this as a separate episode. The thing, it was literally number 2, and it's Spider-Man on PS4. That's literally like, I'm going to get a PS4 because of that. I will beg Melissa for Spider-Man for PS4.
I'm looking forward to buying that game and putting a lock on my PS4.
Tony's PS4 is about to mysteriously be stolen.
Was that
I think
yours?
it's on Pro now.
Huh?
Was that yours? Is Spider-Man?
No, actually, it was I don't know when it's actually supposed to come out. And I'm pretty sure it's for all consoles, but the remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah.
Because from what I've been reading, I think it's supposed to be more like a gameplay type,
Episodes.
like the new one, like the 15, with like
Yeah.
the combat style, which I liked much better than the turn-based stuff that they've done in the past. So if it's anything like that, I'll definitely be getting that.
well, lots to look forward to in 2018. And Justin ain't got no money, so
Death Stranding. I just want to know what the fuck it is. I don't want it. I just want to know what the fuck
it's
it
Norman
is.
Reedus with a baby. That's
You know,
what it
every
is.
trailer I just go, oh, I think it's like, oh no, it's not.
No, it's nothing like this.
Is he dead? Wait, what?
What is going on? I'm just like, I'm just waiting for like for him to be like, yeah, I was just fucking with you. This ain't the game. I'm just making another shooter. I just wanted to fuck with you guys for a while. Oh, okay.
All right, I think that'll do it. I think we should probably skip Brandon's musical recommendation for this week.
Damn, that's fine.
Wait for the music episode.
Just save it for the fucking music. Wouldn't everybody have a music? Wait, technically, don't we all have a music recommendation? Then?
yes, we do. Yes, we do. But
Does anyone have any video game recommendations?
motherfucker, we just talked about them.
I recommend you skip Destiny 2 until they get that shit fixed. No,
I'll buy that
recommend
game in
you
2
join our
years from
clan.
now.
Tony will buy it when it's $20 for the full collection.
No, he won't. He'll buy
Yep.
it when it's like when someone buys it for him. That's the only way. he'll buy it.
True.
20.
You'll get a PS4.
I'll maybe spend 20.
Son of a bitch.
Watch. And then he'll get for PS4. We'll be like, what the fuck? You just don't like us? We smell bad or
Right.
something?
Well, Josh bought Shadow of War on PS4 like a dumbass. Fucking dummy.
He's smart, man.
No,
Wait, we ain't get no call-ins. Man, how come we ain't get no call-ins?
That motherfucker probably. Oh, you know what? I think all the shows started back up.
Yeah, he's probably watching
Oh,
that.
so he don't care. Damn loyalty. I tell you, that's the
Motherfuckers-
real
that motherfucker
injustice.
he doesn't even play video games during the week because he's got his
Ooh,
shows
that's a
to
real
watch,
injustice.
and he goes to sleep. Tony, shut the fuck up. God dang, you ain't.
Damn, she's saying that's an injustice too.
That's an injustice as well.
Wait, did you say-
Breaking news. Tony ain't shit.
Oh,
God,
For the third time.
for the third time.
God damn it.
All right, so I think that'll do it. Thanks
Hey,
for listening to
One
episode.
1 second.
What's
Tony, I guess I could have told you this afterwards. Now I realize that we shouldn't do a whole episode about it, but we should both pick like our favorite wrestling match of the year
all right?
for one of them, just because there's nowhere
you
for it
guys-
to fit.
Well,
You guys can just
can
do
have
your
that
own.
included in the TV one. Or the movie.
Good call. All right, cool. So there's your
All right.
production meeting to extend this episode another 2 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
Aaron Galvin game of the year. Gilmore Girls.
Game of the year.
Game of the year.
I bet it'd be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah,
I bet
hers
you
is Mario Kart 8.
Oh, yeah.
Deluxe.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
I
only
bet you
game
there
she played.
is like a Gilmore Girls game somewhere.
Gilmore game. Gilmore game.
Yeah, Gilmore
There's a
Girls.
game-
Like,
a
It's
game
probably
of-
like a mobile phone game or whatever.
Gamer Girls, the game.
let's look it up. All right. So that'll do it. We're getting out of here. Episode 30. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe on YouTube because that's the only place that we do it anymore because Justin doesn't do the audio. So yeah. That's it. Good
All
to
right.
go.
See
Have a
ya.
great one. Peace.
Fuck out of my house.